Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm just getting over a bit of a cold/flu, so it's nice to get to work on the transmission again. Now, one of the biggest deterrents that stop people from doing a transmission swap like this is the fact you got to cut a huge hole in your floor, which some people don't want to do because, it's an original car or whatever. But also, once you have a hole like this cut in your floor, you're going to have to patch it with something. And many of us don't have, the correct tools or the shop space or even the skills to do it. And I'm in that boat. I mean, I don't even have a real welder to do this. So I'm just going to try to figure my way through this. And I'm probably going to make a few mistakes along the way. So bear with me. But I will show you what I'm going to do to get a patch panel in my car. So the first thing we're going to start off with is some construction paper. So I picked up some construction paper for like 59 cents a piece. It's a little small. It's 28 by 22 inches. It seems to be the standard. If you can find some bigger sheets, do it. I found that this is a little short, probably like a 32, 36 inches. As you can see, I already made a first rough in. It's a little small, hence why I'm doing it again. And also, this is just a very general rough cut. Cut that center hole out for your shifter boot. And I do highly recommend getting a center line on it so you can try to center it to your console the best you can. So I'll cut this up and test fit it in the car. So to be able to use this center line that we marked on our construction paper, we need to have a Centerline Reference on the car itself. So we broke out the old laser level and we ran it down. And what I'm using as my reference point to center is this line right here on the windshield. And as you can see, it's relatively close. And the reason why it's not coming out to be dead down the center of the transmission is because the T56 angled to the left. So you can tell that by your bell housing. You can see how much of an angle it's on. So that's normal, but that gives us a reference line that we can use. So I got my paper template installed, and I gotta say it fits better than I expected it to. That center line definitely made a difference. And yeah, I think what I have to do now is just massage the metal a little bit just to maybe come up a little straighter. But this definitely gets me into the right direction, and I think I can work with this. So I threw in the stock console just to see how it fit with the shifter, and it looks like I can get it to work with a couple modifications. There are these little tabs right here that if I cut them off, I should be okay, as when I go, second, it's pretty close. Also, there's another tab down here that I can snip off because it's just it hits the boot. So but other than that, this is in the stock location, so I think I can get it to work. I still feel that the shifter is a little too far forward. I may end up making some sort of adapter to bring the shifter back a little bit, but we'll see. So I guess I can start making this tunnel out of sheet metal now. So now that I have the sheet metal I can transfer on my template, I went with 20 gauge sheet metal because it's a little easier to work with, a little bit lighter, and yet still strong. So first thing I'm going to do is mark out the center of it, and then I can transfer on my template. So with my sheet metal cutout, I have already started to try to shape it into the form of the tunnel, and I am doing this completely by hand, and I'm using anything I can find that has a radius on it to just make my bends. So old exhaust pipes, my old drive shaft, this edge right here, and just trying to get a rough shape so I can get it into the car. So we're just going to work on it. I'm not even going to bother filming it because I'm running around everywhere I can find an edge. So we'll see if this works. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have a transmission tunnel, and I did it basically with my bare hands using some general hand tools, a grinder, things like that. And it really wasn't too bad to get this general radius, the shape to fit the tunnel. It was just a lot of, back and forth, finicky little bends to try to get it as tight as I could towards the chassis. I also had to bend the floor up a little bit to try to get it to match as well on both sides, and I came out pretty good. This mess or whatever, it's not bad. I mean, it's shapely, but I don't know if it was the right thing to go underneath the floor like this, or maybe I should have just went over. I don't know. I may change that, but I know I wanted to try to keep this low, which I think I could have accomplished either way. You'll see some heat marks here. I heated up to dimple it so I could clear my area right there of the console, and it does clear. So now, before I get it welded up, obviously I need to, button it down on here, which I'm going to use some self-tapping screws just to get it permanent in place. But before I do that, there's a couple extra things I'm going to do. First, I need to get my drive shaft in so I can measure my driveline angle. I do not want to have this permanently sealed up and then find out I need to raise it up. So always check your angles before you do that. And in a future video, or probably in the next video, I'm going to end up cutting this out a little bit more because I want a removable plate here. And I'm also thinking about having a removable patch right about there so I can access the top two bolts that go to the transmission, because right now they would be a bear to get in and out to remove the transmission. So yeah, if you want to see that, hit the subscribe button, like this one if you can, and as usual, thanks for watching.